It's easy to sum it up when you just talk about practice. We sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we're talking about practice.
Back row.
Best believe that I'm top 3. The only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Put me anywhere other than one that is not me. It's beef, we strut a nigga block, that's chopped cheese. No peace, the butterfly sting him, that's Ali. You reach, I teach you with the handle, that's Kyrie. Machines you hook like a Roman, that's IV. You a sheep, I'ma go, it's a difference, so watch me. You weak, all hooks, no punches, so block these. They mock me, I just show them how it goes. Try to stomach this thug life. They bring out the nose, bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe, connected from Cali to New York, niggas, so let it go. Made for this. Nigga, I eat bars and drink flows, thinking you woke until your third eye peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy, it's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early, this bitch a cheat code. It ain't a game, these niggas lame, state bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same, you want the easy pass, tell him change his lane. Shit, I've been through the fire, you can't stand the rain, take an aim. Tell him running, he can try his best. Drive a car named after me, that's why I'm in the vet. Laughing these niggas once again, and I ain't break a sweat. Number one at everything I do, that's why I'm one west. The Lord is not the God of the dead, so when I die, coming back for my spot, so forever I'm top 3. Just tell him to watch this, janitor with the mop stick. You gonna need a defensive lineman to block this. On point when I bomb shit, 10 for 10, I do not miss. I'm barking with a full bulldog, it is not mixed. They can see that my mind's sick, I don't write, I find shit. I don't like it, then I switch. If I touch it, it's diamond. Tell a bitch that I'm God sent. It ain't because my kicks is built like 5'6", 5'7" is my bitch. Dangerous, high risk. I lose it, get another one. You think I'm talking about a girl? I'm talking about another gun. You hear now? Hey, look, it is what it is now. We don't fuck with the house niggas. We burn the crib now. I'm ahead now. And I hope they can hear now. I don't care if you think it's it, nigga, I don't fear class. Policies make it sound like raindrop, that's a firestorm. Get the job done in the view and get fired on. If you niggas standing for nothing, what you dying for? If you put real with real, that's how I was born. Walking this bitch ready for war. I'm in riot form. I want these niggas to see me flex. That's why I am armed. I shouldn't live in the crib, nigga. I should buy a farm to go through this shit so effortless. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3.
The Lord's chosen people. And in order for the Lord's chosen people to come back, like my brother always like to bring out Book of Zephaniah chapter 2:1, gather yourselves together, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. You know what I'm saying? You bring that out every Tuesday because it's so important for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to come together. And that's because we're that nation that's not desired. As blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, in order for us to rise, in order for Israel to rise, we're going to have to come together. And to do that, we need brotherhood. Brotherhood is sisterhood. sisterhood being synonymous with brotherhood. Now, I'm gonna go jump right into it. Book of John, book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20. You know what I'm saying? These things the Lord gave to us, sent Christ down to us to help us understand these scriptures, to understand brotherhood, to understand the spirit of the law. And part of that law is loving one another. That's what brotherhood is. So right here, book of John, 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God. Now what he's saying right there, if a man say, I love God, you hear that all the time from Christians. You know what I'm saying? They're so godly, they love God, and hateth their brother, meaning, they claim they love God, but hate their brother, you know what I'm saying? And in this context, brother being a fellow Israelite, you know what I'm saying? And this also pertains to sisters too. You claim you love God, but you hate your brother or sister. He is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he ain't seen, whom he not seen? And that right there just goes to show you, the dichotomy, what's the word I'm looking for? Not discrepancy, the falsehood in the Christian church, or the hypocrisy. The water, sir. Thank you for that. The hypocrisy of the Christian church. You know what I'm saying? They claim to love God. You hear that all the time. In fact, they wear crosses thinking that they're holy people, that they're godly people. But they turn around, they hate that brother who's hard on his luck right outside the church, right. Or the person living in their building, or even in their homes. They claim to love God, but hate these people that's right here in front of them, these people who they do see. And that makes them liars, hypocrites. And that's what the Christian church is. You know what I'm saying? But not in the Isupk and the Command of General Hunter. We follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. All right. And right here, this is something that's been told that commanded us to do, to love each other. You got a question for a brother? Go ahead.
What do you mean by hate?
Bear with us one sec.
Kind of about so my question is what do you mean by hate? Like, can you give an example as to what do you mean by Christians hate their people or hate their brothers?
Okay, no sweat. Like a way a Christian would hate their brother or sister. Well, first of all, let's get into the definition of hate since we're on it, right? Bear with me 1 second. Because we know we have a general idea what hate is, but you know what I'm saying? We got to say it in the UPK, prove all things. So we're just going to go right here to hate definition. All right. See, hate is the intense feel or passionate dislike for someone. Now, for a Christian, you'll see they'll hate their neighbor. They'll hate their brother or their sister. They'll hate somebody. For example, you can hate your brother or sister by selling drugs to them. A lot of Christians are in fact drug dealers. And you know what I'm saying? They'll sell drugs, these things that kill their people, their community, not think twice about it. That's showing hate to your people right there. Or, for example, to steal from your brother or sister. That's showing hate. You hate them. Why would you do that to somebody who looks just like you? Somebody who's just like you, another brother or sister. It's going through the same things probably at the same time. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, so I get that. So, how do you explain to somebody who is doing things like selling drugs, what you say is hate for their people, but they're doing it for their family?
Okay. Well, they might be doing it or made an excuse in their head that they're doing it for a righteous reason, right? They're trying to help their family, but in a matter of fact, they don't love their family either. Because if they hate their if they're doing this selling the drugs, they're going this destructive path. then they don't love their family because they're going to end up on one or two things, dead or in jail. They don't love their family if they're selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? Just like they don't love those people they're selling the drugs to. You know what I'm saying? That's showing hate. That is hate. You know what I'm saying? And then they claim to be the biggest Christians of all. Or, sleeping with another man's wife. You hate your brother if you're sleeping with another man's wife. You know what I'm saying? You will have a complete disdain for that brother because you're disrespecting. You're showing no love for him right there. You don't care about his life by going and sleeping with that other woman. You know what I'm saying? Or that woman who's cheating on a man. She hates her brother by doing that. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother.
And so could you cut that statement by can you pull the precept in Matthew chapter 12 and verse 48?
Okay, let's go to it. Okay. Slide bear with me. All right, got here right here the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 48, right?
Yeah. So you want me to read it? I can.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
Come, no sweat. Come. Matthew chapter 12 and verse 48. But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother and who are my brethren?
Okay, now look, this is written in red. This is Christ speaking. You know what I'm saying? We know that. And he's asking his disciples, these people, this question. All right. Who is my mother? Who are my brother? Go ahead. Keep going.
Verse 49. And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren.
Now see right there, Christ is showing, even though these people who are not by blood or by technicality, not by the flesh, his brother, his mother, and his brethren, his brothers, but these people he chose, who's also Israelites, to be his mother and his brother, basically his family. These people. Go ahead.
So would it be too far to say that there is no difference? As in to say, the brothers that you're selling drugs to are your literal brothers.
Good night.
They're your literal family members.
Most High Christ.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point, brother. Water, sir. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. We're all, if you're an Israelite, you mean from the lost 12 tribes of Israel, so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian. These are your brothers and sisters. This is your family. So to say that to sell drugs to them, to cheat on them, to lie, cheat, and steal, to murder them, that would be to show hate for your brother and sister. I'm saying you do not love God if you do that. Go ahead, bro.
And if I could, just real quick, because it's a heavy topic, and it's a heavy point you're making. But Black people grow up always saying things like, family over everything, or family come first, or but it's almost like if you ever lived in a hood or lived in a bad predicament or any predicament with family, we always know that family will backstab you, family will hurt you. Your literal brother, he'll rat on you if it meant saving his own life. And then it's just a beautiful thing that when you come in the truth and you meet brothers of all different ages that you would have never ever talked to ever before in your life.
That's right.
And then you meet people who are not your quote unquote worldly real brother or your worldly real sister or father or whatever or whatso have you, but you meet brothers that will not turn their back on you.
That's right.
Will not sleep with your wife. You understand? So it's like if we can find that same love and that same loyalty for brothers in the truth, then that just proves all the more that the people out here are your brothers. They just have to learn how to be a brother. You understand? This is your family. They just have to learn how to be a family, and it's not too far off because your family don't even know how to be a family.
Shoot,
your family hate each other.
Absolutely.
You understand? So
No. Excellent point, brother. Water for bringing that out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. I mean, that's why Christ was sent to us. Because we as Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, the nation of Israel, we have to learn how to deal with each other and to come together because that's the only way this nation will rise. And that's the only way we get out of this captivity. It ain't happening if we're backstabbing and hating each other or, you know what I'm saying, doing all these evil, grimy things to each other. No, we'll stay right at the bottom where we currently at. You know what I'm saying? And if I could, we're gonna keep going. This book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 21. And this commandment we have from him, that he who loveth God love also his brother, or love his brother also. Salakia. Now, commandment, this is a divine law. This is something Christ is telling these brothers, that this is part of the law, that we have this commandment from him, that he who loveth God, who loveth Yahweh, our power, love his brother also. So you can't have one without the other. If the Lord, the Most High, is our Father, and we're his children, how can you love his children without loving the Father? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense. You love the Father, you got to love his children too. And we're his children, and you have to love us. That's part of it. Now, if I could, we're going to go over to book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40. All right, it's the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40. Oh, the water, sir.
Salaki.
Yeah, we're right here in the New Testament. It's where you Christians love the New Testament. You know what I'm saying? It's right here, so there's no excuses to sit here and talking about, well, you love everyone, you love the Most High, you love God, but you're doing all these things against your brother. Well, these verses from Christ kind of cut whatever you're saying.
That's right.
Go, you know what I'm saying, with how you're living.
Con.
Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 25 and verse 40.
Okay.
And the king shall answer and say unto them,
all right,
verily,
Salaki, sir. Oh, no, you no sweat, sir. The king here, you know, being Yahweh Shai, all right? You know what I'm saying? And it right here, this next part's written in red, so you know that's Christ speaking. Go ahead, sir.
Verily, I say unto you.
He's saying, surely I say unto you, surely, keep going.
Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
And there you go. Christ is making it clear, like, I'm your king. Christ was put to lead the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, right?
That's right.
He is our king. Now, to do something to the least of the Israelites is as if you're doing it onto Christ. Now, what he's saying here, basically, you don't treat a brother or a sister because of their status. You don't treat them wrong or even better according to their status. Oh, you got a point, brother? Go ahead.
Salaki, if I may, it's just a heavy point. The scripture is so on point with what you was bringing out, because that goes back to showing that brother that sells drugs, you know what I'm saying, sells drugs to one of his people. He don't love his people. Right. He hates his people. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly
because
right.
if you're selling drugs to that brother, you know what I'm saying, it's like you selling it to Christ. And most dudes, everybody knows, right? Like, you know, some dudes would be as ruthless as to sell drugs to their own mother.
Good night.
You know, they'll do that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But still, for the most part, your average drug dealer, he don't want his son to be on drugs.
Right.
He don't want his daughter to be on drugs. You know what I'm saying? Everybody will look down and ridicule somebody that smoke crack. Well,
absolutely.
Then why would you help them if you know that they got a problem?
Come,
right. Selling drugs to them. That shows that you know what I'm saying, you absolutely hate your people when you sell drugs to them.
Absolutely. Come, sir. Exactly. Perfect point. Because, you know, drug dealers' reasoning always is, you know, as long as they ain't close to me. You know what I'm saying? But these people who look just like you, raised in the same area as you, you know what I'm saying, from the same block and all that you're selling these drugs to, they are just like you. They are close to you. Then that's what you don't realize. You know what I'm saying? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have a shared bloodline. We are family. You know what I'm saying? And whether you believe it or not, we're not supposed to be doing that to us, according to this Bible. You know what I'm saying? As Israelite. Oh, go ahead, sir. You go ahead.
Salakia, sir. Just again, such a heavy topic. You know what I'm saying? I really, you know, appreciate when we get the opportunity to talk about. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me, you know, Biggie had said in that song, what did he say at the beginning of Juicy? All the people that called the police on me when I was just trying to make some money to feed my daughter.
Right.
And it's like, I'll never forget Officer Zion said at camp one day, and always stuck with me. He was like, basically saying like, yo, so you mean to tell me that, you know, I got to lose my uncle? I got to lose my family member so some nigga can ride around in a Rolls Royce or ride around in a Corvette or ride around in whatever fly car?
Right.
Like, so when Biggie says that, what is he essentially saying? That his daughter is more important than my daughter.
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Come on,
It's
now.
a complete lack of brotherhood, because like the scripture is saying right here, if I wouldn't want to see my brother's daughter on crack.
That's right.
Excuse me, if I wouldn't want to see my daughter on crack, then I don't want to see my brother's daughter on crack, so I won't sell it to
Absolutely.
her or whoever.
It's a great point. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a level of empathy that needed with brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? The tip, they say to balance the scales are right. It can't be one way or the other, where a brother is up here and the brother's down here because brother wants to wrong another person. You know what I mean? We don't rise if it's unbalanced like that. Salakia. If I could, basically, don't help or hurt because of status. You know what I'm saying? That's what Christians do, and that's why Christians are always at a neck, and why they have no brotherhood. And that's why, even though there's 2 billion, I'm counting 2 billion estimated Christians on the earth, you know what I'm saying? There's no cohesion, there's no togetherness, no brotherhood amongst them. All right. You know what I'm saying? The only way you find brother is by following these scriptures, and the only place where they do that is Isupk on the Commander General Yohana. You know what I'm saying? Plain straight like that. Now, if I could, let me go to the book of John, chapter 13, verse 34. Bear with me one second. Like I said, we're still here in this New Testament. You know what I'm saying? That's where a bulk of these scriptures are from, because Christ was the most brotherly of brothers who ever walked the face of the earth.
Right.
And it took him to show us how to treat each other. You know what I'm saying? So you got that, brother. Could you read from Baba Kashaw?
John, this is the book of John, chapter 13, and verse 34.
Uh-huh.
A new commandment I give you. Slakia, I give unto you.
All right. So this is Christ giving his disciples, his brothers, a new divine law. That's what a commandment is. Divine law. Keep going.
John. That ye love one another as I have loved you.
You know what I'm saying? That the way you got to love each other the way Christ loves you. You put it plain and simple like that. Christ loved his brothers. He loved his people. That's who he was sent here to say. You know what I'm saying? Book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21. You can see that. You know what I'm saying? Christ was born to save his people. He loved his people. Who was that? Israelites. Go ahead.
That's right. Salakia. As I have loved you, that ye also love one another.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples.
Mm-hmm. That's how you know people who are actually following Christ.
That's right.
Now, can you say that with Christians? Can you say they're actually following Christ if they're not loving each other the way that Christ loves them? You know what I'm saying? Not putting forth that effort to hear the brother out, to be patient with a brother or sister, to not wrong a brother or sister. Can you say they're following Christ if they're not keeping those tenets? Keep going, sir. Baba Kashaw.
John, verse 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another.
That's right. And you know what I'm saying? Basically, if you're not showing that love for a fellow Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, then guess what? You're not following Christ.
That's right.
Oh, go ahead, sir. You got a point there? Oh, Salah.
Again, just another heavy point. And if I could, you know what I'm saying? This straight up cuts, you know what I'm saying, fake Israelites. They get mad when we say that they don't follow Christ. But if you follow Christ, then you would love Black people. You would have love one to your brother, one for another. Absolutely. But how can you love your brother when you leave your brother? How could you? You know what I'm saying? If you loved him, you wouldn't leave your brother behind. You know what I mean? So right there, like only place you can find real love is in Isupk and the Commander General.
Goddamn right, brother. Thank you for that, sir. You know what I'm saying? Great point. You know what I'm saying? And like the brother said, like I don't want to say, you know what I'm saying? It's nowhere else. These groups, these other groups that have fractioned off for the ISUPK, those are brothers those brothers who have no brotherhood. You know why? Because they left the ISUPK. You know what I'm saying? They have no brotherhood. They left their brothers behind, all because they want to do whatever they wanted, and that makes them no better than a Christian group. You understand? So Slack, if I could, brother, you got an extra point?
If I could, they so Christian in a way that, like a, I don't want to say the word to be too vulgar, but just like an emotional woman who wrong. Like they do things as far as like they left Commander General Yohana, and what they do, they give excuses as to why.
Right.
They nitpick at, oh man, because I can't do this, or because y'all do this, or y'all too militant.
Right.
When if the whole point of life was to be a brother and to free your people, then what the hell is us wearing boots, braids, and beards got to do with you being with us?
Damn
You
right.
understand? Like if you remember back in the 60s, back when the Islam, the Nation of Islam was jumping and popping. What kind of nigga would look at that and see that black people need protection? My family needs help. Black people need some kind of authority or leadership. And then for somebody to look at that and say, you know what? I don't like the color suits they be wearing. I'm gonna make my own organization. We're gonna do kind of the same exact damn thing. And then I'm gonna just wear purple.
Right.
You understand? How stupid that is, man. And it's a heavy point that you bring it, because the truth is they don't love their brother. They love themselves, which is why they got to go and wear purple or dirty rags and nitpick at every little thing that's different.
Damn right, sir. Excellent point. They love themselves. They don't love each other because they don't want to follow the law. You know what I'm saying? And there you go. Simple like that. They might as well be back in the Christian church. I mean, why not? Go ahead, sir.
Just a cherry on top. And all of them fake Israelites never try to claim that they are the home of the truth. They all know that the home of the truth started in 1969 in the ISUPK, man. And they know that that's the truth. And then they get up on, I seen a video of one of them talking to some news reporter or something. He said, man, those brothers in New York, they just a little hard. brothers and people in New York is hard. He's like, but we got our own spin of the truth.
Oh, wow.
Come on now.
Another version. Ooh-wee.
Another version.
Come on. Making no sense at all. That's right. That's right. There's no brotherhood there. You know what I'm saying? But slacky if I could. Let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 5, verse 22. We keep bringing this out the Bible, you know what I'm saying? The same Bible that's sitting in your house. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to learn from this Bible, you're actually trying to learn these laws, statutes, commandments, come into class. You know what I'm saying? We're all over the country. Commander General Yohana has classes all over this country, all over the world. Get in class, learn these laws, and learn how to be a brother or a sister to your brothers and sisters. But only if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, all right? The others need not apply, you know what I mean? So let's, we got that for brother. Go ahead, you go ahead. Book of Matthew chapter 5, verse 22, Baba Kashaw.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 22. But I say unto you.
Now, speaking here, that's Christ our King, Yahweh Shah. Go ahead.
But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause.
Without a cause. Now, you know what I'm saying? Little things that we always kind of, quote unquote, hate each other for, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Like, for example, with the Hispanic community, one people could be from Cuba, and another could be from Puerto Rico, and you hate them for that. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's hating without a cause. Or, you know what I'm saying, the Black community. Oh, well, again, with the drug thing, selling to one another, or you're selling these drugs up this block on this street, and I'm selling on this street that's right next to the jointed street. You know what I'm saying? We're hating each other for that. Or we're selling the drugs to each other, of course, like I said before. That's hate for your brother without a cause, or just refusing to help a brother or sister. Like you got a little cash, you can't spare nothing for that bum on the corner. Absolute hate for one another. Keep going.
Slakia, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
The judgment, punishment from the Lord. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's what judgment is. You know what I'm saying? You be in danger of that, just hating your brother for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Lord sees that. The Lord sees that, and you would be dealt with. Just, and that's why you need to stop hating your brother for no reason at all. Like, plain simple. Keep going, Baba Kashaw.
And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah.
Rakah, work. That's another word for worthless. Or,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Making false statements and tarnish their brother or sister name. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Shall be in danger of the council.
You know what I'm saying? You for making those false statements, for lying against your brother or sister, for calling them worthless, this, that, and the third, you'll be in danger of being on in the world, being on that stand, or being locked up, or being in those situations where you would have to answer for that, basically, in the council. Keep going, sir, Baba Kashaw.
But whosoever shall say, "Thou fool," shall be in danger of hellfire.
You know what I'm saying? Thou fool, thou ignore that counsel, that ignore that judgment, or that the judgment handed out, or slack it. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, go ahead, bro. Slack it, sir.
I wasn't going to answer that.
Oh.
I had another comment. I don't know if you want to finish what you were saying.
Oh, no, you go ahead, sir.
Salaki, sir. No, just heavy scripture as well. You know what I'm saying? Going back to what you said earlier in the class, you know what I'm saying, with Christ, you know what I mean, his whole purpose was to teach us the spirit of the law. You know what I'm saying? And here we see another example of that. So that's why, really Christ upped the ante. You know what I mean? He upped the ante, because right here it's almost like the scripture where he says, if you look at a woman to lust after her, you know what I'm saying? The idea is that sin starts in your mind.
That's right.
That's what Christ was saying. He's not saying that, obviously if the Levitical priest was here, they don't know what's going on in your stupid brain. But whatever's going on in your stupid brain is the thing that's going to end up making you do what you do.
Absolutely.
So before you end up sleeping with another man's wife, it started in your mind. You started thinking about it first.
That's right.
And that's when you go do it. And so right here is the same thing where he's saying, listen, you think if you let that hatred get into your mind or your heart, which we know is your mind, get into your mind. If you let that demon in your mind, guess what? You will murder a brother.
That's right.
You will steal from a brother. You will commit a crime against a brother. And guess what? You might get the judgment for it.
That's right.
The brother just what's the rapper's name who I never heard of, Salakia, but some rapper named Trouble.
Trouble, right, out there in Atlanta.
Yeah. Some rapper named Trouble just got killed, and apparently I don't know the whole details, so I don't know what the brother did, but apparently he was killed in bed with a woman who either just broke up with her man or something, like it's some kind of adultery type situation.
I believe they were separated, sir.
But that brother killed that brother.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what's gonna happen. And before you end up in that bed with that woman, before you physically laying there thinking about, damn, should I have done this?
Right.
It started with you in your bathroom, texting her all night long when you knew she had a man or something like that. It starts in your mind. So it's the same thing here when it's like the Lord, like Christ saying, if you even go to a brother and say thou fool, you talk bad to him.
Right.
You in danger of hellfire because that's how it starts.
That's right. Absolutely. So the water, for that. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get that hellfire, that death. You know what I'm saying? That's how bullets start firing. You know what I'm saying? That ended up, in a situation where the Lord will kill you. Now, and put you in that situation where you will be killed. You know what I'm saying? It could be it could be a brother putting some bullets in your head, or just happen to be walking down the block and get hit by a car. You know what I'm saying? That death, that judgment from the Most High, that hellfire is coming to you.
That's right.
For that hating your brother. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's gonna do that to you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So bottom line, fix these petty issues with your brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? That's what Christ wants. That's what he's telling you right here. Stop. Don't hate your brother for no reason. Plain and simple. And it's not hard to do. Just stop doing it. Come on.
That's right.
This is nothing you need, years and years of therapy for.
Right.
It's just something you need to just do. Stop hating your brother or sister. That person who looks just like you from the same block. You know what I'm saying? From your line.
That's right.
So-called blacks, Hispanics, and even Indians. Ain't the rest of the world hate us? You know what I'm saying? We're at the bottom. The rest of the world hate us. How about we love each other?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's it on that right there. If I could, Baba Kashab, go to the book of Luke chapter 6, verse 31. You know what I'm saying? How about you be different? Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, love each other. The rest of the world hates you. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? The Most High and Christ, they love you. So why don't you love each other? Why not? You got that for me, brother? You go ahead and read.
You want what verse?
Oh, it's like 6 and 31.
Con. Salaki. This is the book of Luke, chapter 6, and verse 31. And as ye would that men should do to you,
You know what I'm saying?
do ye also to them likewise.
All right, now I'm sure sometime in your life you heard this before. You know, do to others as you would have them do to you. You know what I'm saying? Pretty simple. I mean, real simple to understand. If you don't want somebody to cheat you, don't cheat them. You don't want someone to lie to you, don't lie to them. You know what I'm saying? If you don't even say a foul thing behind somebody's back because you don't want somebody saying a foul thing behind your back, people see that, and then you know what I'm saying, and act accordingly. And right, this is an upstanding brother. Don't lie, cheat, steal from nobody. You know what I'm saying? Then they'll treat you like the honorable brother that you or sister that you are for not doing those things. But if you go around lying, cheating, stealing, selling drugs to one another, or talking bad behind each other's back, bringing that kind of energy to you, you're gonna reap what you sow.
That's right.
Plain and simple, basically. It's like, brother, did you have a point? Oh, in the back. Oh, did you raise your hand, brother? Oh, okay, slacky. My bad. If I could now drop that, let's go to the book of John, chapter 15, verse 12. Like I said, these are basic things that we should have in the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian communities, but we don't, and that's why the ghetto is the hell that it is. That the barrio is garbage, and the reservation. I've never been, but I've only heard, and from what I've heard, it's about as bad as any ghetto that you've ever heard or seen of. That, just terrible places, and that's right. Because the people there have no brotherhood or sisterhood. You know what I'm saying?
What verse?
It's the book of John, chapter 15, verse 12.
John, this book of John, the 15 and verse 12. This is my commandment.
All right, so this is it's like if I could, Bob Shaw, bear with me. All right. Now, this is Christ speaking. All right, he's saying this is a commandment. This is a divine law, like we said before. Go ahead.
Come. This is my commandment. That ye love one another,
right,
as I have loved you.
All right, so now Christ is repeating basically what he said in chapter 13, same book of John, chapter 13, verse 34. He's basically repeating what he said because it's important enough that it bears repeating. You know what I'm saying? If you love Christ, you got to love your brother and sister.
That's right. Damn right.
Plain and simple. Go ahead. Oh, quiet.
Salaki. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
Right.
Verse 13, greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
Now you hear that all the time, or brothers say, well, I love it. Man, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I give my life for you, brother. I take a bullet for you. People always say all the time, I give a kidney to you, brother. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They do all these things for a brother, sister, but give us the greatest sacrifice. Give a piece of them so another person could live on or whatnot. But they can't find it in them to stop their brother or sister from eating shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster, or committing adultery. You know what I'm saying? A sister, tell another sister all day, oh, besties, love you to death. Say do anything for you, but you won't keep your sister from committing adultery against a man.
Right. You
encourage her, oh girl, he wrong, he bad, he ain't right.
Right.
He cheating on you, cheat on him back. They tell that, but they won't stop them from committing that sin of adultery. All right. You stay anyway. They can't tell, they can't stop you. It's a lie. They can't stop each other from celebrating these holidays, these unlawful holidays, or any number of things that go against God's law. You can't help your brother or sister stop doing those things, but you die for them, right? I mean, everybody's ready to lay down their lives for the ones they love, but when it actually comes to something that actually could put you in danger, you know what I'm saying? Breaking God's law. No, they won't do that. You know what I'm saying? And Christ is saying right here, go ahead, read that again, sir. Baba Kashaw.
Come, verse 13. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
Uh-huh.
Verse 14. Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you.
You know what I'm saying? And if you do what Christ does and follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, then obviously you're following Christ. That's basically what we're doing here in Isupk and the commandment of Muhammad.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Christian church don't follow all the statutes and commandments, law, statutes, and commandments. As a matter of fact, they claim there's just 10 when there's actually over 600 law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? And these divine laws, and even them, those 10, they say, well, you know, as long as we pray on it, right? They're not even beholden to those 10 commandments that they claim. You know what I'm saying? So how can they say they following Christ if they don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments? Come on.
That's right.
Get out of that Christian church. If there's a running theme in all this that I'm saying right now, it's get out of that Christian church because God is not there. Now, if I could, Baba Kashaw, could you give me the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 21, Baba Kashaw? Take this to your pastor. I know he ain't bringing out these verses.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the Christian church is not following Christ. They're not following the Bible. And therefore, I mean, what are you doing? You're wasting your money. You're going broke trying to line his pockets. Get out that Christian church. Come pay tithes to the lost to the true men of God.
That's right.
So we can raise up this nation.
That's right.
Instead of putting it in the building fund.
God.
That everlasting building fund.
That's
Good
right.
night.
God, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 18 and verse 24.
Go ahead.
And when he had begun to reckon, one was brought unto him, which owed him 10,000 talents.
It's like it, sir. Is this book of Matthew 18 and 21?
God, Matthew 18 and 21. Oh, Salaki. I think I read in 18, but I read a different verse. Salaki.
Oh, it's all right, sir.
God, Matthew 18 and 21. Salaki. I think I read 32 for some reason. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me?
And so, Peter, one of Christ's disciples, asking him, how many times must I forgive a brother? You know what I'm saying? And that's I guess is a normal question. I mean, you're thinking, well, he keep wronging me over and over and over and over again. How many chances must I give him? Well, here's Christ's answer. Go ahead. Cut him, sir. It's all good.
Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Till 7 times?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 22. Yahweh shall I say unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times,
right? But
until 70 times 7.
Ooh-wee. Now see, that's 7 times 70. My math's correct. That's like 490 times. I don't know. Could be more. About ballpark, something like that. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. See, Christ gave him such a high number because he's saying you must forgive that brother every time he acknowledges his fault. Basically, you know what I'm saying? If he acknowledges his fault, you got to forgive that brother. Could be 7 times, could 17 times, could be 177 times. That brother acknowledges his fault. You have to forgive that brother.
That's right.
Plain and simple. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And again, something that's solely missed in the Black and Hispanic Native Indian communities. That's why we end up killing each other so much, because we're not forgiving each other. You just claim some things to just be so unforgivable that we have to, bring it to such a point that we're actually killing each other. Right. That we're not coming together because we can't forgive each other. Oh, that brother, he wronged me in the 6th grade, so it's on sight when I see him. No. If that brother could genuinely say he's sorry for what he's done, and even if he didn't, I mean, you can't bring it to that point. But if he acknowledges his fault, you have to forgive that brother. All right, sisters, you have to let that go when you're dealing with your other sisters. You know what I'm saying? If she says sorry, that's the end of it. All right, you forgiven her, you move on. She acknowledged the fault. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we come together as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. I mean, as Israelites, forgiveness. Now, if I could, Baba Kashab, could we go to the book of book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 31. Book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 31.
This is the book of Mark, 12 and verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Okay, now if I could, I'm gonna stop right there. Like the second is like unto the first. Now, above this, he's saying Christ is speaking to his disciples. He's telling them the two most important. If he could, he giving them two commandments. He giving them two laws himself. Christ is giving these two laws. It's written in red. He's saying he's giving them two new laws. All right, love the Lord with all your heart, and we know the love of the Lord is to follow his laws, statutes, and commandments. And the second one is like unto the first, to love the Most High. Go ahead. What's up, Papa Kashaw?
Salakia. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these.
So love thy neighbor as you love yourself. That's right. You know what I'm saying, if you won't sell crack to your brother or sister, then if you don't want somebody selling drugs to your brother or sister, you shouldn't be selling drugs to somebody's brother or sister, like my brother brought out before. You know what I'm saying? This is showing, loving somebody like you love yourself. This is if you don't want to be cheated, then you don't cheat somebody else. You don't want to be lied to. You don't lie to somebody else. There's simple tenets of life that we had to be told by Christ for. You know what I'm saying? This is a commandment, a divine law from Christ, saying, do unto others. Basically, he's saying, do unto others as you have them do unto you. You know what I'm saying? Could you read that again for me, Baba Kashaw?
Yeah. Salakia. This is the book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 31. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these.
None other commandment greater than this. It means there's no laws greater than this. You know what I'm saying? And as the brother said before, as I said before in the verse above, when it says, this is like unto the first, to love the Most High with all your heart. To love your neighbor, in this context, a fellow Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, to love them like you love yourself is how you love the Most High God. And what I mean by that, and we said before, following all God's laws, statutes, and commandments, which is unto loving your brother and sister. Following the laws is showing love to them. So, following the laws, loving the Most High, is being a good neighbor to your brother or sister. You know what I'm saying? Right. And Christ said, there is none other commandment greater than these. So basically, that encapsulates everything else, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Loving the Most High, following his laws. Following those laws is loving your brother and sister. That's right. And that's what Israel needs to get together. That's how you understand that verse right there. You know what I'm saying? All the other commandments hinge on these. That's right. That's what he's saying, basically. If I could, Baba Kashaw, get the book of Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1.
It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
And see, once you come back to these laws, statutes, commandments, well, first you need to gather together. First, Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians need to come together. And to do that, we need to follow these laws, statutes, commandments. That's how we come together, you see. And now see, this is gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together. It's mentioned twice. It's said there twice as a command. This is something you need to do. That's been commanded to do to us from the prophet Zephaniah. This is what the Lord wants. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians come together. Gather together. Yea, gather together. He said it twice. That's how important it is. He reiterated, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. O nation not desired, the nation of Israel. The so-called Blacks, and Hispanics, and Native Indians. The folks on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Do I have to tell this to you? You don't have to say gather together to the Indians, the East Indians. or the Chinese or the Arabs. You see them in the communities gathered together. And that's why they thrive here in America.
right.
That's why they thrive wherever they're at, because they gather together. Those people desire each other, and they don't desire anybody else. Oppressor, to an extent, desires nobody else but the oppressor. So that's why the oppressor is living in the kingdom he is, or is what's the word I'm looking for? Has the success he has because he's gathered together. He loves his people. All these other nations love each other, but so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians don't. You know what I'm saying? There's a link to that. You love your people, you rise. You hate your people, you fall. I mean, it's kind of common sense. You see that? Could you read that again for me, sir, Baba Kashaw? Uh-huh.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
O nation not desired. I mean, who else could that possibly be talking about? No one but the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because you see the conditions we live in the so-called ghetto, and then the ghettos, the barrios, and the reservations. And that's not just in America. That's all over the world. I mean, shoot, Mexicans have the whole country of Mexico, but it's basically a third world country. You know what I'm saying? South America too. Ain't nowhere in there, first world. And they're together, but those nations not desired. So you see how they're living. How about Puerto Rico, or Dominican Republic, or Haiti? My God, Haiti. They're a fifth world country because nobody cares about it. They're not desired. You know what I'm saying? It's not just America. In America, it's all over the world. We are not desired. So best thing for us to do will be to come together. And that's the only way we survive. And you know that's not a lie, because you see the other nations are gathered together. They're people with their own people, and they thrive. You know what I'm saying? If I could, Baba Kashad, keep going.
Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Verse 2, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you.
All right, and let's see what you're saying here. Basically, this is saying that there's going to be a time that you're going to want to be gathered together before these things happen, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before his judgment come down. You're going to be wanting gathered up. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want to come together. You know what I'm saying? This is a warning, basically. You want to be gathered up before the fierce anger of the Lord comes upon you.
That's right.
And what's that going to be? That's going to be Judgment Day.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's going to come down, and it's not too far off. If you see the signs going out here in the world today, it's more than ever, Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need to come together. All right? You see that. But that fierce anger of the Lord is going to come swift and without warning. He's saying gather together now while you still have the chance. When you hear them crazy brothers on the street corner.
That's right.
That's when you need to gather together. You need to take heed of that.
That's right.
Come together before the Lord's anger come upon you. Keep going. So no sweat, sir.
Before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you.
And say it, repeated it twice, because it's not going to be something you're going to want to see. All right? When the rest of the nations get their punishment from the Most High God, when he sends Christ to crack that sky with, 2 million angels? 200,000 angels. 200 million. Crack the sky with 200 million angels? You do not want to be there when that bloodbath happens on the earth. Right. No. Come together before that. You know what I'm saying? Slack it, sir. Keep going.
Verse 3. Seek ye the Lord.
Seek ye who?
Seek ye the Lord.
Seek ye who?
Seek ye the Lord.
Seek ye the Lord. What do you mean by that? Seek ye these men of the Lord. These so-called the priests and prophets of the Lord. Not under the ISUPK and the Commanding General, Yohana.
That's right.
Seek ye the Lord. These men who bring out these law, statutes, and commandments out the Bible, who teach you how to follow the law, statutes, and commandments in the Bible. All right. Seek ye the Lord. Seek ye the men of the Lord. Keep going.
Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth.
All ye meek of the earth. What is meek? You know what I'm saying? Let's look that up real quick. You know what I'm saying? This is from the Oxford Dictionary definition of meek. You know what I'm saying? Quiet, gentle, and easily opposed on. The submissive. But let's see, we're getting up to another one. Or deficient in spirit and courage. The submissive, basically. But yeah, you meek of the earth, you submissive, you enduring injury, you deficient in spirit, seek ye the Lord. That's basically say you meek, you deficient of spirit and courage, seek the Lord. Seek the Lord who would be your courage. Keep going.
Seek, Slakia, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment.
You meek of the earth, you non-violent or strong, you weak of the earth, who have gotten his who wrought his judgment, who brought upon his punishment. Go ahead.
Slakia, seek righteousness.
Seek righteousness, right? That's following these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's righteousness. Following the Most High God. Following after Christ's example. Righteousness. Keep going.
Seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
All right. Seek these things. Seek to be righteous. Seek to be submissive to the Lord's will.
Right.
That way, you won't be the one caught up when when World War III happens, which is right around the corner. I mean, they don't like to talk about it that as much as they do anymore, but Ukraine is still battling Russia right now. Russia is trying to make its way through all of Eastern Europe. You know what I'm saying? World War III is right around the corner. All right. And then you see the signs of all the other things. I mean, this country is falling. It is falling quickly. Gas prices rising, food prices rising, all these things happening in the country. The Babylon is falling, as we like to say about, you know what I'm saying? As we like to say, Babylon is falling. So you want to make sure you're seeking righteousness, that you follow these men of the Lord in the ISCPK and the Commander General Yolanda. So you not end up in that in Judgment Day. And you end up in that judgment, that punishment. Slakia, if I could. Let's take it all the way back to book of John, 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. Baba Kashaw.
It's the book of 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20.
Because see, if I bring it back to what we said, you know, Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1, coming together, well, in order to come together, you got to have brotherhood. You got to have, and by that extension, sisterhood. Right. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want that judgment day that's been foretold in the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 2. If you don't want that judgment, that Lord's anger to come upon you, then you need to be a brother or a sister to your brother and sister.
That's right.
And who's that? So-called fellow Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Go ahead.
The book of 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar.
That's right. He is a what?
He is a liar.
A what?
He is a liar.
You know what I'm saying? Talk all day about how they love God. Godly people. You know what I'm saying? Quote unquote godly people. All right. Always in church every day. Or wearing a cross proudly displayed on their neck. You know what I'm saying? Bumper stickers for days. Oh, I love Jesus. Jesus is my co-pilot. These people who love the Lord so much, but hate their brother. Hate their brother how? Well, would see their destruction, would refuse to help their brother or sister. You know what I'm saying? That's showing hate for your brother or sister. You know what I'm saying? To lie, cheat, or steal from them, to wrong them in the way. is to show hate for your brother or sister. Those people are liars. Keep going.
For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love God, whom he hath not seen?
You know what I'm saying? That's pretty simple. I mean, how can you love that God that you love so much, that power of yours, who you've never seen? He did not come down from the heavens to help you in any way or be in front of you in any way. You claim you seen him in a dream, but you ain't seen him in a dream. You ain't never seen God, and you love him. But that brother or sister who looks just like you, you know what I'm saying? Same skin color, same nationality, right. Came from the same place, the same block, maybe even the same country as you. You hate them. And that's evident today. I mean, you see so-called black people on so-called Negroes on the police force who hate their fellow brother or sister. Or even worse, like so-called Hispanics in immigration on the border patrol. The other day, I seen a politician talk about he want to keep Mexicans from crossing the border because he don't want a taco truck on every corner. Wow. And he's a Mexican himself. Now that's showing hate for your brother and sister. That's right. And that man is probably front row center in the Christian church. You know what I'm saying? It claims to love God, but he doesn't love God. Not if he's trying to keep his fellow brothers and sisters from crossing the border and finding a better life for themselves. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Or how about them so-called Native Indians who own them casinos and can't get a job for another fellow Native Indian? You know what I'm saying? That's showing hate for your brother or sister. You know what I'm saying? If you could, Baba Shaw, you ready, sir? Oh, okay. That's showing hate for your brother or sister. You know what I'm saying? Keep going from Sir Baba Shaw. No.
Verse 21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also.
All right. Again, now this is Christ speaking. This is written there. This is not our words. He's saying this is a commandment, a law. He's given unto these people. He's given unto you that if you love God, you have to love your people. Plain and simple. You have to love your brother and sister. If you don't love your brother and sister, you don't love God. I mean, it doesn't get any more simple than that. You understand? If I could, Baba Shaw, go to the book of Matthew chapter 25, verse 40, Baba Shaw. Matthew chapter 25, verse 40. Oh, Salakia. And with that, I pass the class on to precinct officer 500-yard mark.
Tell everybody. I'm messing with you. 500 is a glorious rank in the school, if I may say so myself. Most High in Christ. The water, man. Get a brother a hand, man, for holding it down for me. Most High in Christ. Salakia. Where was we at? What scripture was you about to pull? Book of Matthew, chapter 25. All right, let's go there. Any questions? Any questions in the room? Any questions online? And again, right, just so everybody knows, like, questions, don't take the religion off of the ISUPK. Don't put it up there. It should have never been up there in the first place, right? If you're watching from online, or if you're in a class, you may be a young man or a young sister in the school, or coming into the school, or just somebody who's just happened to stumble upon the truth. And of course, it excites you from all the lies and the wickedness that you've had in your whole life. Right. Don't put the religious aspect of Christianity on what is not religious, which is the ISUPK. Right. You understand? Which is the Bible, which is what Christ taught, which is not religious, man. The questions don't have to be about the council of Nicene. The questions don't have to be about Nebuchadnezzar or the book of Enoch or Adam and Eve in the garden. You understand? The questions don't have to be about necessarily precepts in the Bible. The questions that you have may just be something that's practical. It may just be how you deal with your wife, or how do you deal with a husband. Right. It may be how you deal with a brother in a scenario in which you feel as if there is no dealing with a brother in that particular scenario. The questions can be lifelike and realistic. You understand? It don't have to be, can I get a breakdown of this? Now, when we answer these questions, of course, the questions that are answered and of counsel that is given that is needed, will be coming from the words of the Most High. It'll be, you understand? How we learn how to live comes from what God tells us to do. And so that's how you'll get counsel or advice, or how I'll answer a question that you may have pertaining to brotherhood, sisterhood, raising children, back talking you, dealing with a brother in the world who wants to fight you in the club, how you deal with a brother who thinks that you a GD in the club because you're wearing the 6-point star, how to deal with things that will absolutely happen to you in life. You understand? And if I could say so myself, some of those things are more important than learning these precepts. Right. Some of those things, learning how to, as a matter of fact, give me the precept, man. Give me the hold what you got. Give me the precept. Let's get all questions. But give me the scripture where you say, though I've learned many tongues, or speak the tongues of men, but not charity. You understand? Like, it's in 1 Corinthians. But just learning how, learning how to break down the Lashwan Kwadash, or learning how to hold a Sabbath service, or learning how to do certain things. Of course, those are one of the most important things a man could do in his life. Learning these records, learning these precepts. Why? Because then he can be someone who gives advice to other people. That man can then become a brother who gives counsel to other brothers, or the whole classes, and free more people out of this world. But sometimes, you understand, it may just be important for a brother to just know how to be a brother. You understand? Let me know when you got it. If I could, Baba Kashai, I left my water somewhere. I think it might be that one. It might be. If it's like off to where if it's off like by itself, yeah, I think so. Come. Is there any other one that's in a refrigerator? Yeah, if I could, I'm gonna take that one. Yeah, one of those.
Okay. I think I got it right here, sir.
Come on, let me see what you got.
Okay. It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
For he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not unto men, but unto God. For 13.
Yeah, I'm about to say I didn't.
Okay, slack it.
I was talking about him actually speaking. You understand? The last one, Kodash.
Slack, sir. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels.
Though I speak with the tongues of men and angels, meaning what? Oh, I can speak English. I can speak Spanish and speak German and speak Creole and the Lashwan Kodash. You understand? That's a special brother right there. You can speak multiple language and you know how to speak the Lashwan Kodash. You understand? That's special. Hold on one second. All right, go ahead. Read what you got.
Okay. It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels.
Meaning he has a great gift. You understand? It's a great gift to be able to do these things. That brother is a very peculiar brother, man. Right. He like, what's that brother name? Hazahab. Brother is just, but some brothers are just very knowledgeable and just things, like how Captain Kadazar just be breaking down different years and dates and different stuff. You understand? Right? Okay. Keep going.
Okay. And have not charity.
Now, what does it mean to have not charity? So this brother can speak many languages. He could talk to a lot of different people, but he doesn't have charity. What is charity? What do Christians think charity is? What do they say it is?
Oh, slack, sir, if I could. To them, charity is, giving away, a few meals on Sunday or
food drop. That's a charity event. It's charity, right? They believe that having a food drive or a bake sale is charity, and that counts towards them getting in the kingdom. Right? They believe that that's what it is, and that's why they do it. You understand? That, of course, is not what charity is, and that is the reason why, like the way Christians describe charity and what they do to show charity is the reason why that could never be charity.
Right.
Why? Because Christians have bake sales and food drives for what? To show charity for what?
Oh, slacking, sir, to show that they're being charitable.
But why are they doing it?
Just to show people that they're godly people. But
nope. Of course they want to be seen, right? But they're doing it for a reason. Why do Christians say they do it?
Oh, slacking, sir, so they can say that they're godly people that and they can so they don't have to worry about the law.
Nah,
like
Christians show charity. I'll give you a hint. Christians show charity or do charity in their terminology because they're selfish.
That's right.
That's why they do it. But why are they doing it? I'm giving you a hint by saying they're selfish. What is it that they want?
To help themselves, sir.
How are they helping themselves? How is a Christian helping himself by holding that food drive? By giving the shirt to that brother who don't got no shirt? How is he helping himself?
He thinks that's going to save or get him into quote unquote heaven.
Right. He thinks that him giving that brother that shirt on his back, it's what's going to save them from hellfire in America. He believes that him having charity is the thing that's going to make him go to heaven. And so they do it. The Christians do what? They say, oh, here I am. I'm at church. I have a cross.
Right.
I'm at the food drive. I'm helping. I'm doing community service. I'm doing charity. They believe that what they show outwardly is what makes them a child of God. But the weed that they smoke at home is why God is going to kill them.
Right.
You understand? And which is why what they're doing can't be charity. It can't be more important than speaking the language of angels. It can't be more important than knowing these laws, statutes, and commandments, because what they're doing ain't even going to work.
Right.
You understand? By their definition of charity and the reward that they're supposed to get from it, it's not even going to work. They're still going to die when they drive home from the food drive.
Right.
Why? Because they sell drugs to their people.
Right.
Because they sleep with their brothers' wives.
Right.
Because they hate their people secretly. On the inside, they hate their people, but outwardly, they want to be a child of God.
Right.
Outwardly, they want to be in all white and clean and prosperous and God-loving and God-fearing. But inwardly, they are like ravaging wolves, man.
Right.
Inwardly, they want to get rich off the blood and sweat and sacrifices of the people that's beneath them. Right. The people that don't have the education that they have. The people that wasn't cool in high school like they were. The people that doesn't have the athletic ability like they are, the athletic build or the mental fortitude that they were blessed with by the Most High. So they take the gifts that they have and they say, here, look, you see what I'm doing, Tabawan? I'm giving these people some baked goods. I'm giving these people some water bottles. I'm giving them some diapers. But then they go home and molest somebody's child.
Right.
They go home and they murder a brother on the block because he has a different color on.
Right.
They go home and then they beat their wife.
That's right.
You understand? They are going to die because of the crimes that they commit. They will not live because of the charity that they think they have.
Right.
But of course, in ISUPK, we're here about truth. And so now, what is charity? What is charity?
Well, the definition from the Oxford definition of charity, sir, is the voluntary giving of help, typically in the form of money to those in need.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, I think what charity be helping so-called fellow blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians learn the law, statutes, and commandments.
Let me give you a hint. It has nothing to do with helping anyone. It has nothing to do with helping anyone. Like, I'm going to give you another hint. Charity is something that you must have. It's something that you must do. As a priest and prophet of the Lord, you are very charitable. You have to be. As a brother, as a son of God, you have to be charitable to to blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Now, we already debunked what charity is not.
Right.
It's not about giving something. Why? Why is it not about giving something?
Because that's not enough to get you,
Because then how would poor people ever make it into the kingdom?
Right.
When they have nothing to give?
Oh, come on.
The homeless people under the bridge, they can't give charity. They can't hold a food drive. They don't have food.
Right.
But they can resist from sleeping with your wife.
That's right.
Underneath that bridge.
That's right.
They can resist from sticking you up at the ATM. They can resist that. They cannot rob you and murder you. They cannot do those things. And then they would have charity too. Because charity is simply what?
Keeping the law, sir.
It's simply brotherhood.
Oh.
It's brotherhood. This is a charitable class. And it teaches men, women, and children alike how to be charity, how to have charity. You understand? And it's simple. And now when we know that, we know what? Now it's not about the food that we give. And the food that we give is our what? It's our duty. It's a job. It's our job to defend the poor and the fatherless. It's our job to feed our people when they need to be fed. It's a law that we have to keep, to take the corners of the plots of the field and give it to the poor. It's not charity. It's what you have to do. It's absolutely a law to give food to the poor and the fatherless. It's not something that, oh, you do this and you're going to make it into the kingdom. It's your job. It's like a kid having to clean up his room and expecting to get a golden star. It's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to get good grades. You're supposed to have food drives. You're supposed to feed your people. You're supposed to help them when they need help. You understand? Did Christ not say it? That if thou not help the least in the kingdom, that help the least of my brethren, is as if you've done it unto me. And all of us would want to help Christ, wouldn't we? At least we think we do. Until you end up in the same position Judas was in. Till you end up in the same predicament that Peter was in. Then helping Christ ain't just all as easy as it sounds. But being a brother who will not sleep with your brother's wife, that is what charity is, man. Being a brother in the Isupk and following these law, statutes, commandments, and risking your life to teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians how to follow these law, statutes, commandments, that is what charity is, man. You understand? Giving your life for this truth is what is charitable. Now read it again from the top.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal.
He has become as what?
As sounding brass.
Or what?
Or a tinkling cymbal.
He has become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal, meaning what? What is he saying here?
It's like if I could, like tinkling cymbal, a small sound, quiet. He's something that's barely heard.
Right. Something that's so small amongst the great. Something that's very tiny amongst the giants in the world, man. You understand? Because they don't have charity. You want to know why Captain Tazariak is as huge as he is in the world that we live in today? It's not because he's the best debater. That has nothing to do with it. It's not because he knows more than another brother. That has nothing to do with it. But it's because he learned how to be a brother by Commander General Yohana and the Isupk, and that has everything to do with it. The things that Captain Tazariak sacrifices that you don't see is why Captain Tazariak is who he is. The things that Captain Ayadak sacrifices behind the scenes is what makes him so great. Captain Kahantam Yar, General Mahiman, Commander General Yohana, the places that he had to sleep in when you wasn't there, that's what makes him the commander general of the whole nation of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Not because he holds a food drive. Not because he can speak different languages. You understand? I don't know what kind of languages Commander General Yohana could speak, but he is the leader of my life. He is the leader of all our lives because he learned that being the most smartest man in the world, or learning how to decode the stars and the interstellar solar systems, or learning what microorganisms live on velvet cloth, is not more important than not sleeping with your brother's wife, which is why he is in charge of the nation of Israel.
That's right.
You understand? And it's simple. And now we understand why brothers in the truth are better than all of you. Salakia. Now we understand it. You understand? And is that a not common concept? Why is Kobe Bryant one of the greatest basketball players to ever touch the court? Why is Michael Jordan one of the greatest? They all have the same story. It's because of the work they put in that you didn't see. It's not because of the jump shots that they said it themselves. It's not because of the jump shots that you see me make that made me great. It's because of the thousands of jump shots that I missed when I was alone in the gym at 3 o'clock in the morning that made me great. And now if you take that same concept and you put it into the truth,
That bake sale ain't gonna do too much for you. That food job ain't gonna do too much for you if you have not what?
If you have not charity.
If you have not charity, man. If you have not brotherhood. Keep going.
God, I am becoming as sound brass
Uh-huh.
or a tinkling cymbal.
Uh-huh.
Verse 2. And though I have the gift of prophecy.
And though I have the gift of prophecy, though I could tell you what Moses said, though I could tell you what Paul said and what Jeremiah said, and what Luke and Mark and Matthew said, and I could tell you what tribe they from. I could tell you what their names was. I could tell you what Christ's name would have been in the Greek. I could tell you what Joshua's name meant. I could tell you what Habanah means, and I could speak the Lashwan Quadash and tell you what Christ said in the book of Matthew, and I could break down these scriptures. Keep going.
God, and understand all mysteries.
And I understand the mysteries. I know why our people are dying in the streets of America.
Right.
I know why our people are scattered amongst the four corners of the earth. I know the prophecies. I know how the Lord tells time through prophecies, and the prophecies is like a clock unto the Lord that's referenced in the book and in the book of Revelations. Even though I could tell these things to you, keep going.
God, and all knowledge.
And have all knowledge, meaning what? I know everything on the face of the planet Earth that will save the lives of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Good night.
You understand? Keep going.
God, and though I have all faith, so that I could remove mountains, and have not charity,
and have not what?
And have not charity,
and have not brotherhood. Keep going.
God, I am nothing.
I am what?
I am nothing.
I am nothing, man. Christians are nothing.
That's right.
They're nothing with their little bake sale and their food drive. They're nothing with their little clothing giveaway and canned food good giveaway. They're nothing because they give $1 out the window to some homeless man. They are nothing because the things that they do that no one sees are wicked. Because of the shrimp that they eat, they are nothing. Because of the pork that they digest willfully, they are nothing. Why? Because they don't have charity for Christ, man. They don't have charity for the woman and her 7 sons and the book of 2 Maccabees and the Apocrypha. They don't give a damn about them, man. They don't give a damn about the millions of people who have died because of the holidays that we celebrated in America for 400 years. They could care less. But what they do give a damn about is what people see when they stick their hand out the window at the intersection. They do want people to see the money that they give. Right. They want people to see how much money they put in the collection plate on Sunday. Why? Is it because they really give a damn about people? Or is it because that broad sitting next to her? Am I lying? Is that something you haven't seen before? Right. Tell me you haven't seen Coming to America. Did that Hamite in that movie? Did he give that water cash because he loved God and he loved the Christian community and he loved black people living in Queens? No. Why'd he do it?
He did it for that woman, sir.
He did it to impress a woman because Christians are selfish.
That's right.
And there's nothing else that Christianity can breed but selfishness. There's nothing else that they can breed but just being a selfish bastard in the earth who only wants prosperity for themselves. The reason they give homeless people $1 is what? Somebody read my mind. Why do Christians give homeless people $1? I'll give you hints. Not because they love black people.
Right.
Why do Christians stick out their disgusting pork grease ridden hand out a disgusting car with all the weed smoke and all the illegal drugs that they plan on selling and hand some homeless person some crumpled up, wrinkled dollar with cocaine dust residue still on the dollar and give it to them? Why do they do it?
It's like, sir, for a ticket into heaven, so they want.
In this context, so that they can get money back. So that they could get the money back. Christians say what? What goes around comes around. They put money in that collection plate and prosperity is going to come into their life because they're selfish. When Commander General Yohana has given everything and hopes of nothing to return except for Christ. No money to return. You understand? Commander General Yohana has slept in basement floors that a exterminator wouldn't have walked into. Why? Why? So that he could put his face on a bus? No, he didn't do that. So that he could drive a Rolls Royce? No, he doesn't do that. Right. So he can build up cathedrals and have people come and make dolls about him or dolls for him? No, he didn't do that. He did it so brothers on wheelchairs who the world looks down upon and abuses can have a place where they can stand up, can have a place where they can rise in this kingdom, man. To have a place where people who are drug inflicted, man, have a place where people are oppressed. They can now rise up in this kingdom, man, and they don't have to bow their necks at the hand of our oppressor no more. And he wants nothing else but to serve the Most High Christ, man, and hopes and having faith that Christ is going to return and put black people back in their rightful rulership, man, in the new kingdom, man, which is why Commander General Yohana is better than your leaders.
Damn right.
He's better than every last single one of every leader that you can ever think of. The captains in the ISUPK are better than Malcolm X. The troopers in the ISUPK are better than your Martin Luther King, better than your T.D. Jakes, better than your Creflo Dollar, man. They're better than any leader you've ever looked up to, man, because they sacrifice in hopes of gaining nothing. They sacrifice in hopes of not getting no recognition. You understand? Which is why we say what? Most High in Christ. Hey, brother, you fed 10,000 million, billion, gazillion people yesterday. That's marvelous. Most High in Christ. You understand? Because in the ISUPK on the Commander General Yohana, we're taught to not be selfish bastards, man.
Right.
We're taught to have what? Read my mind?
Charity.
We taught to have charity. You understand? And we hold food drives. And we give out clothes.
Right.
And we give out free counseling. And we give out housing. And we go into the prisons and we teach the people that you've given up on.
That's right.
We teach the people that you've forgotten because they've gotten 25 to 30 years of life. And we teach them. For what? Why the hell would we teach brother who got life? Because we are not selfish, man. And we love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians,
That's
man.
right.
You understand? Keep going.
Yeah. Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 3. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity.
Meaning what? I give all my goods to the poor. I hand out dollars at the gas stations and intersections, and I give my body to be burned. Meaning what? Meaning he'll sacrifice himself. You understand? But he have not what?
And have not charity.
Have not brotherhood. Keep going.
It profiteth me nothing.
It profiteth me nothing, man. Christ said this, that the whole law hinge on these two. Love the Lord with all thy heart and to love thy brother as thyself, man. You understand? This brotherhood is very, very important, which is why sometimes learning precepts about the of Jezebel or Deborah, those are good things to know. But sometimes just knowing how to be a brother in a club is important. Right. It might save your life one day. Learning how to be a brother in a bank, learning what to do, learning how to react to certain situations, learning how to keep your cool, man. Learning what to do and what not to do, and may save your life. You understand? Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in a situation and you're not going to know what to do. You're going to find yourself, you're going to be in the club and some fake gangsters going to see your brother with a shield on and he walking to the bathroom and they going to be all up on him and you ain't going to know what to do. You're going to say, well, do I jump in? Hey, what do I do? Well, this is where you find out what to do. This is the time where you ask the questions, what do I do in this situation? What if this type of situation happens? What do I do here? What do I do if this happens? What do I do if that happens and this happens, but that doesn't happen? What do I do here? These are the type of questions that you should be asking, because that way, when you leave out of here, you're not just some brain-filled precept sponge who knows all the precepts, but you don't know how to deal with security guards. You know all the precepts, but you don't know how to deal with a brother because when he stepped on your foot, when he stepped in your shoe, because knowing something, knowing a precept, but knowing how to apply it is something completely different. You understand? Is there any more on that? All right, we go back to the book of Matthew, where you was at.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily, I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
Meaning what? You go and you hurt that small brother in this kingdom. You hurt that poor brother in this kingdom, man. And when you hurt him, it's you hurting Christ, man. It's you hurting Christ, man.
That's right.
Because Christ died so that brother could live. So who are you to take his life? Who are you to sell him drugs when a man that you claim to serve died and gave his life so the brother that you giving drugs to could live to not use drugs? could live to not be a whoremonger, to live to not eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. So who are you to hurt him in that way, man? And that's what Christians do, man. They live in this life just hurting the people they hurt, just lying to the people they lied to, man. And truthfully, they hurting Christ, man.
Right.
You understand? If Christ was here, they would be the ones telling Herod to hang him, man. They would have been the ones telling Herod and Pontius Pilate to kill him, man. That's what Christians would be, man. To this day, that's what they would be, man. And it's so disgusting, man. I can't stand a damn Christian, man. I can't stand a Christian.
Right.
I pray for the day that Commander General Yohana say on Sunday we running up in them churches and we gonna set up camp and just blaze on them, man, like how Christ went into the temple and whipped them out, man. I can't wait for that day. I got my theories on what's gonna happen when Christ come back. I hope Christ hear me out. I hope there's a council. And Christ say, hey, I'm gonna give you a year to do what you want to do. Yeah, it's on. Good night. I'm gonna start off at that LBGT. Can we say that? I'm gonna start off at that LBGT camp. Where we got camp doing that LBGT and they walk through. I don't know if I can say this on camera. We holler at this afterwards, man. You understand? But there's no, Christ gonna be in the camp with me. And they ain't gonna know it's him. He gonna be back there, he gonna have a shirt on like this. He gonna be like, that shirt fly. I'm gonna give him a watch. I'm gonna have Christ gonna be looking fly. He gonna be right there at camp in the back. Gonna see some like how they did them filthy bastards in Boston who poured water on my brothers. It's gonna be something like that. And Christ gonna give Yarmak. And he gonna get an order. And it's gonna be like today. It ain't gonna be like the clouds is red and the sky is yellow. It's gonna be a regular day. They're gonna think it's a regular day. Christ gonna get an order. Hey, I'm gonna do something. They're gonna be looking around like, call the police. And then out the blue, Christ is gonna make thunder strike. And he gonna take the mice and he gonna go blaze on them. I can't wait, man. Again, I ain't gonna go into details because we know. The oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man.
That's right.
So of course, in a country with free speech, we can't speak freely. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that, Tabawan? A country whose constitution protects the right to freely speak on any issue that you so please, we can't say certain words. No sweat, man.
Okay.
Keep going.
Oh, God. Verse 41. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels.
Prepared for the devil and his angels, man. You understand me? And Christ saying, well, he done with you, man.
That's right.
You decided that hurting people and selling drugs was more important than you being righteous, man, and having brotherhood. You decided that brother's life was less important than your own, man. Right. So Christ said, go on, man. You understand? Be done with me. And be done with me and go live among Satan and his angels, man. You gonna go to them. Right. You understand? And what happens when you go to them? Hey, man. Sometimes babies are born with defects, man.
God.
Sometimes babies is born blind. Sometimes babies is born as Siamese twins.
Good night.
Ain't no telling what they're gonna be born with, man. But I tell you one thing, they got demons on them.
That's right.
They born with it. You understand? Which is what a demon is. If a brother, you see a brother that's blind, there's a demon that's keeping that brother from seeing.
Okay.
You understand? Christ could heal that demon, and he has in the New Testament. Christ healed demons like that, illnesses and ailments and things like that, because that's what a demon is. You understand? Something that wants you to die. That demon, you got blindness, there's a demon standing behind you everywhere you go, holding his hands over your eyes like this. And why is he doing this? Why would a demon be doing this?
Slack, sir, to kill you, sir.
Because he wants you to jump off a bridge because you're born blind. That's why he's doing it. He wants you to blow your head out. He wants you to blow your brains out because you was born with 2 left arms, because you was born with 4 fingers. He wants you to look at yourself and hate yourself because and because you born with 4 fingers or born blind or born with 2 urethras, I don't know, and he wants you to think that you are so disgusting that you just go and jump off a bridge and kill yourself. You understand? What he doesn't want you to do is to acknowledge that the life that you have is on borrowed time. Right. He doesn't want you to acknowledge that the life, that the nostrils that you breathe through is a blessing from the Most High, and that you should live the little bit of life that you have. Let's say a brother can't move at all. Let's say a brother born paralyzed. Well, he better live righteously for the rest of his life.
That's right.
He better live righteously. A brother that's born blind, he has no excuse to eat pork. He better not touch pork. He better not smoke weed and sell drugs because he's a blind man. No, he better be at the Passover. And he better get help. Walking through the Passover, saluting the Torah as a blind man, a crippled man, a man who can't walk. You see him at camp all day, thinking that they can't come into the school because they're in a wheelchair. No, he better come into the school. Otherwise, the Lord might do something worse to him, man. Right. And that's how the Lord is, man. You understand? And they have no excuse. Keep going. Or read that part one more time.
Come. Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire.
Ye what?
Ye cursed.
So like I missed that part. Ye cursed. Yeah. They cursed. They come out looking all no sweat.
Right. Good night.
They cursed, man. And even in the miracle, when Christ healed the baby who was born blind, what the disciples asked him? They said, who did sin? Was it him or his parents? Right. Because they knew that a brother or a sister could be cursed by the things that they've done in their past life, which is why it's important to not be a wicked bastard in this life, man.
That's right.
It's important. The things that you do in this life echoes in eternity forever. It doesn't go away. The Lord gonna remember who you was 10,000 years ago. The Lord gonna remember who you are. I may get my math all wrong, but you get my point. The Lord remembers who you was 100 years ago. He remember who you were in the 16th century. He remember that you was one of them back who was telling Christ, or back in Rome who was pushing for Christ to be crucified. He remember, man. But he also see you now, and your name is Maya Shaw. He also see you now, and your name is Thabawan. He also see the things that you're doing now. And so you might just have some forgiveness for what you've done in the past. Okay. You understand? For what? For your charity. Not because of the food drives that you've done. Why? Because having a food drive is a what?
Oh, it's a brotherhood, sir. It's for
feeding the poor is a what? It's a law. You got to do it. Can you not feed the poor? No. Why?
Because it's a law, sir.
The law says what?
Feed the poor.
To take the corners of the field, of the crops, of the harvest, and do what?
Let the poor eat from it.
Is that not a law?
It's a law.
So having a food drive is a what?
Feeding the poor.
Yeah, it's a law. You got to do that. You got to feed the poor. You understand? That's what we have to do. Charity is having brotherhood, man. And having brotherhood means that you follow the law, statutes, commandments. Why? Because you want your brothers to stop getting murdered in the streets of America, man. You want your brothers to stop getting killed because of drug addiction and drug abuse, man. You want your brothers to stop having what's that brother name? Was just trouble? Yeah. You don't want to have to continue living a life in which we murdering each other because we sleeping with each other's wives, man. Right. And so because of that, we would have charity, man. We would have brotherhood, and we would love our brothers as we love ourselves. Keep going.
Verse 42. For I was hungered, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. Verse 43. I was a stranger.
And what else? And what else is this talking about? Because, like, this isn't just talking about food, man. But it's another disgusting thing. Number one, what about the B word? Is that too wild? That's too wild? I don't know if I should say that. I'm going to just say
female.
There are a peculiar group of gay men who wear gay apparel, purple, that will not teach their students the law of God if they don't have a job.
Come on.
They won't feed their brother. They won't feed blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians if they don't have a job, if they don't have an income. There's a certain group of gay men who wear gay apparel, IUIC, that will order a brother to leave their wife if their wife is not in their group, in their choir,
Good night.
in their gospel group, in their church, right? That's not far off, ain't that what it is?
Come,
In church. That's what they do. You understand? Read that part one more time.
Okay. Book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 42.
Uh-huh.
For I was hungered, and ye gave me no meat.
It's just a brother, man. I'm just a brother. Them brother, of course, it's a good thing. Give IUIC all right, don't give them nothing.
Yeah, right.
Spirit, in your mind, figuratively give them a hand for not allowing the poor people to come into their schools, because we'll take them all. We'll fill up the ISUPK with the poor people that Christians reject. We do it all the time. You understand? Most High Great, get them a hand for that. They're doing a tremendous job of being stupid, of being idiots. Go have all of your women who are so skilled in just making garments and so skilled in cooking, go advise your men to just divorce like idiots.
Right.
Because in ISUPK, we'll take 4 or 5
That's right.
at one time. So go ahead and do it. Free the children of Israel from Christianity. You're doing a great job. Keep doing it. Go arrest more brothers. Go call the police and give them tips for more warrants. Get all of the nation of Israel arrested. So we'll go into the prison, man. We'll get them out. We'll go free them from the prison that you sent them to. And then they'll be on the corner to blaze on you and call you gay every second you can get, every second they could get.
That's right.
Go ahead.
If I may, sir, or they'll go in there and they'll get through Hebrew Academy while being in prison and raise up a whole army of ISUPK brothers.
Give the brothers who graduated Hebrew Academy while in prison. You got brothers in prison who are stronger than 1,000 gay men in purple.
Right.
While behind bars. Their words mean more. Read that again.
Okay. Book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 42.
Uh-huh.
For I was hungered, and ye gave me no meat.
All they wanted was the truth. They wanted some scriptures broke down. But because they don't work at IBM, keep going.
Okay. And I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink.
Uh-huh.
Verse 43. I was a stranger, and ye took me not in.
Uh-huh.
Naked,
Uh-huh.
and ye clothed me not.
Now I was a stranger, and you took me not in, man. That's what these Christians, man. That's what these fake Israelites, which are just Christians, man. That's what they do, man.
Right.
That's what the church does, man. The Christian church does. They don't like the way a brother dress, so they don't like the way a brother don't have money or doesn't assert himself as somebody who has a high standard. He's not a high value man.
Right.
They don't like that, and they think that is someone who shouldn't be amongst them, man. Someone that they shouldn't feed, man. Why? Because they believe that a powerful man is like their daddy, man. That's who they believe a powerful man is, like the white man, man. They look at the white oppressor as power in America, man.
Good
Which is
night.
why they say what? That you shouldn't resist the power. You shouldn't resist that white man. He tell you stop, you should stop.
Come on.
Am I lying? They believe the power in America is the oppressor. And so when they see a brother that doesn't resemble what an oppressor looks like, they see him as weak.
Right.
They see him as feeble. They see him as scrawny. They see him someone that's scorned from value in this kingdom, man. When in ISUPK, we see them as gold, man.
Right.
We see them brothers underneath them British as gold, man. You understand? Because we know something that them Christians do not know. We know that Christ is coming back for them, man.
Right.
Christ is coming back for the meek on the earth, man. And I tell you what, we reverence Nat Turner to this day. Nat Turner didn't have no rich men on his rebellion.
Right.
Nat Turner had slaves. Nat Turner had men who could not survive on their own. He had weak old men, strong, young, fast, poor men, men that came in all shapes and sizes. He had brothers who were slaves, and he took those brothers, and he went out there and he did something that was mighty during his time. It was against the law, but in his time, it was mighty, and he did it with men who did not have jobs. Right. Why? Because Nat Turner had charity, and he loved his brothers. And with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Thabawan.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commandant General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. Bob Kashak, could you pass me my phone? Okay. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21. In Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, just a moment. I believe it's the memorial blowing of the trumpets. I wanted to get the exact date. Bear with me just one moment. No sweat. It's going to be the memorial blowing of the trumpets. I just don't have the exact date right now. I'm saying we'll get that to you as soon as we can. So bear with us. Salaki, want to remind Akim and Akwathi to check on social media, such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, I'm Madium.